YouTube, Dawson Rider here with a review of the Gaburevolver from Power Rangers Dino Force Brave. Now I know what you're thinking, just calm down. You didn't accidentally port to Earth 2 or 38 or 3. There's no zooms here. It's just not even Harry's here. It's just us on Earth 1. But this is a really interesting case. This is essentially, if I remember right, it's a Kyoryuger sequel made in Korea. But uses the name Power Rangers because I think they call their ports Power Rangers. So they actually ordered their own footage from Toei of new-ish Kyoryuger suits and are combining with their own footage like we usually do here in America. It's a pretty unique situation that hasn't really happened before. So we have a slew of new toys which are mainly repaints. I have not seen a lot of the show yet. I've just seen clips because no one's really subbed it. I'm not sure if anyone will. But anyway, I picked up a couple things from it because even though I'm a bit fatigued from Dino Charge, I do love Kyoryuger and I love the designs. So I wanted to get a few things of it, especially the changer here. So we will take a look at that. Starting off with the box, just real quick, it's pretty typical. Like, it looks really bootleg. Like, it looks like a bootleg Kyoryuger packaging, but it's very similar to what we got with Kyoryuger. You got, you know, the changer there, picture of what I believe they just call him Dino Red, and as you can see, it's just like the same helmet with some slight designs on there. It shows the two Zyudenchi you get with it. There's their logo. On the top here, it says the name and stuff like that. There's another picture of Red. On the side here is the mecha, which is the other thing that I picked up, the Megazord. And then over here on the side is the sword, which I have not seen yet, but I will probably be picking that up just to get the formation, which I think looks pretty cool. There you can see it's combined there. And then it just shows you how it works like usual. So it's pretty much just like the Japanese packaging. I'm going to go ahead and take it out of here just so it's not taking up any focus. So you get two Zyudenchi, or batteries, or whatever they call it in the show, which are basically repainted versions of the Zyudenchi, right down to like the dinosaurs, which are like slightly remolded. This is Gabutira's equivalent, which is called Cannontyra, and you can see his little guy in there, which is like the same drawing with the cannon attached to it. And like the symbol's really weak. Like, I think they did a pretty decent job on the design for him and like the design of this picture, but that's pretty weak. And it only has the two modes like the old Zyudenchi do, but they're pretty much the same as regular Zyudenchi. And then you have here this one, which is called Speerus, not to be confused with Beerus. So these are the two you get with that. We'll show the sounds off in a minute. And here we have, well, the main event, which you've already seen, but it is just like the same mold as the Gaburevolver. It's not a Dino Charge morpher. It's the same mold, same size, roughly the same feel. I feel like it feels that I'm using the word feel a lot, but that it feels a little bit cheaper, but that could just be me. It's got a weird smell, but otherwise, it's the same size and same overall quality look of the Gaburevolver, the Gaburevolver. And yeah, I kind of like the look of it. It looks like the American changer, but like it's basically a mainly white and red repaint with little bits of blue and then the gold there. I feel like they should have not done all three and maybe just picked either blue or just red, because it looks a little bit busy, but I also kind of dig it. I'm kind of mixed on it. We'll show a little bit of the sound differences, but here it is next to the original. Let me just get a better like grip positioning. But yeah, you can see the original. It's the same thing. I'm not zooming in or anything, but I don't know if you can tell my Gaburevolvers are a smidge beated up. Beated up? That's a good word. But yeah. So that is the same thing. We'll do a little bit sounds in there. I'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, let's go over the sounds for this first. So you turn it on, and this thing does have some different sounds. Obviously different for these, a few different tones, but it also carries a lot of the same sounds as the original Gaburevolver. So you got the activation noise, same pressing noise. Still pull this to open. Same nothing when you do that. So let's go ahead and do a transformation then. Let's put, on the bottom slot, let's put Guntier, or I forgot his name already. Cannontyra. There we go. So. Attack sounds. So you get its attack sounds there. Now let's put in the other one by itself. And as you heard, you have the same jingles as Kyoryuger did for transformation and attack. And there's its unique sounds. Now, I don't know why I'm switching them around, but if you switch them and use both slots... So you'll get both of their names and their sounds said. I'm just going to do all the basic stuff you get with it in a few little branches in this review. I'm going to do a separate video that shows what most of the other Zyudenchi do in this. I'm probably going to do it like that, where I'll put two in at a time so you can hear their individual sounds instead of going through each one and their transformation. But let me just show this first. You get the Mechamucha sounds, and then if you swap them around, just like with the Gaburevolver, almost interrupted it there. You get the different inflections. It'll say one higher, one lower, depending on the positioning. I don't know if I'll show every combination for that, but in the sound video, I'll do groups of two and put them through there, but I probably won't swap them around every time because it's just kind of not worth your or my time for like the slight difference, but that difference is there. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut away to combining this with the sword and then Mini Tira just real quick. Alright, so we're just going to take a quick look at this combined with the other weapons. They are going to be releasing a different colored version of this, as you saw in the box, but this is obviously the one we have. I'm the only one that activates some quote-unquote new sounds with this. So I totally forgot to turn it on. That was anticlimactic. I'm the dumbest boy in Skuo, and I knocked the review station. But here we go. Okay, there we go. Let's do this right this time. Okay. There you go. So just like before, you won't get sounds for this. You will get this type of sound, which is pretty much the same as the original, and then you have these. So pretty much just that, just like the original version, it's just their version of the voice, which is like basically just them trying to be the original Gaburevolver voice. And as for Mini Tira, you can obviously combine it, but it doesn't really activate any new sounds because, you know, the new sounds that came from this combo were from Mini Tira, so... but on the positive side, that actually looks really nice. I think that one flows a little bit better together than the other two, but obviously they're coming up with their own color scheme to flow better with this. Alright, now back to the regular review then. Okay, so we did that. I had to cut away because I did not have them on me at the time of that review, so we're time traveling in this review. So now the last couple things I want to do is let's just show you a couple regular old Zyudenchis from the Kyoryuger line in here. Here we just have Gabutiras, so let's see what happens there. So it reads as Cannontyra, as you can see. Some of them will read as what their counterpart is, others will read as other things. This is the Kyoryuger one, like just it was a special all Kyoryuger one. That seems to be its default. So that Dino sound is its basic default that from what I'm gathering, unless it was already in one of the older revolvers and I'm an idiot. It's possible. But like this will make that sound, and the Maximum and Victory ones will both make that sound. Spoiler alert for the sound video. But here we're just going to do, just to show you what this does. Let me turn it on. That might help. What the old ones do with this. So let's go ahead and put Cannontyra in. So that activates the Overrapu noises. And Speerus, this just reminds me so much of Beerus. So that one will say Super Sentai, so it'll match up more going this way if you put their corresponding repaint in the new one, but the other ones will be kind of random. My sound video will just be what the Zyudenchi I have do in this, and not what all these do in the Gaburevolver, obviously, because I don't own a lot of these yet, and I probably won't own a huge amount of them. But yeah, overall, this is definitely a really weird thing. I've always liked this changer, let me just say that, in terms of like the Gaburevolver and stuff. It's probably one of my favorites. I thought it was a good toy, good design, everything. So that's obviously why I decided to pick it up. But in terms of this toy itself, this is a weird thing where it's along the same quality as I originally recommended the Gaburevolver, but on this one specifically, I can't give it a blanket huge recommendation unless you're like me and you just like Kyoryuger. That's getting me this year, guys. Kyoryuger and Kyoryuger. Unless you just really like Kyoryuger, or you really like this design, or you've seen the show and you're just in love with it and you want it, then, you know, if you can find a decent price, then it's a decent changer, just like the Gaburevolver was. But otherwise, it's not a huge must-have. A lot of it depends on taste, but in terms of sounds, it's really not that different. It's pretty similar to the Gaburevolver in which it's just basically adding on a little something. It's as if it just added a slight amount of DLC. I know that it's a sequel, and there's a weird... I'm not sure what I would have expected, but it would have been neat if this would have had some truly different sounds. But at the moment, unless you just really have a driving force to want this thing, it's just not different enough to have me recommend picking it up just on its own. But anyway, that's about it. Until next time, make sure you go to the Crazy Podcast at WritersRangeRambles.com. And of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, Dawson Ryder, signing out.